Merry Christmas, everyone! I'm here to talk about my 90-day transformation. I just finished a 90-day program to get fit, and I decided to do a video on it in case anyone wants to watch. Who knows, maybe no one will, that's fine with me, but I have a few reasons. One is other people inspired me with their videos, so I wanted to return the favor. Two, there are some people that were inspired by my photos, so I wanted to give them a little bit more details on how to do this, at least if you want to do it the way that I did it. Three, I also wanted a log for future remembering that I shouldn't go right back to where I was, because that's easy to do. So with that said, I'm going to give a brief overview of what I did and why and how did it work. And if you want more details on any section of this video, then just go ahead and request it, and I'd be happy to do another video. So where was I? Let's start in the beginning. In the beginning, the earth was formless and void. No, that's probably too far in the beginning. In the beginning, I was born in a healthy family that always focused on fitness. My dad was a gym teacher, my wrestling coach, and I got into bodybuilding. At my peak, I was 198 pounds, solid muscle. Never could break that 200 mark. I was trying, but I couldn't get there. And then I stopped weightlifting about 10 years ago. Every once in a while I'd get into shape, but if I was skinny, it was still like skinny fat, never actually built or tone. And I got in a car accident January 1st of last year. My back was seriously messed up, couldn't work out at all, and I started eating my feelings. I hid it well under priest shirts that were loose, but I knew when I looked in the mirror. In fact, my before picture, some people thought that I was sticking my belly out. That is actually not even intentionally a before picture. I was just walking by the mirror one day, and I saw how bad I looked. And I realized that I had to make a change, and I wanted to take a picture to remember that moment. I know, kind of sick, but it worked. And that was part of what inspired me to get on this program. The other thing that inspired me was I was taking these new orders for priesthood, where I was becoming an ordained Anglican priest. I've been a pastor ministry for a while, already felt drained from all that emotionally and physically, but I wanted to start this next leg of my journey in a healthy place. I didn't want to just be not unhealthy. I wanted to actually be healthy. I wanted to be an example when it came to mind, body, and spirit of what healthy looks like. Now, I'm not there. I'm getting there. I'm working at becoming more healthy, but that's the whole goal, right? It's the journey, not the destination. And I've seen people, no judgment, but that are pastors who talk about spiritual health, but their life doesn't reflect that emotionally or physically when it comes to their body health or their emotional health. Now, we don't need a six-pack. You don't have to be Arnold here, pumped up and like the Terminator pasta. You know, it's not necessary. But it does help to be an example for people and inspire people. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to make a change. Okay, what did I do? Well, I decided to eat right, specifically in a ketogenic fashion, and a little bit of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is when you only eat for certain windows of the day. I didn't do that religiously, but I did the ketogenic very strictly. And ketogenic, by the way, is described often as a no sugar and low carb diet. It's not. It's a high fat and medium protein diet. Now, you don't eat sugar and you stay away from carbs whenever you can, but the focus should be on high fats. Pistachios, avocados, bacon, eggs, that's my staple of my diet, or has been. The no sugar was tough for a little bit, but eventually your tongue gets resensitized and all the food tastes better. This diet is a fast mimicking diet. So your body starts burning fat because it feels like it's being put in a fasting state, which makes the weight drop off pretty dang quick. First 2 weeks, didn't burn a lot of fat. But the next two, I burned so much. I lost a lot of weight. and then it got tougher after there. I do think that this is a good temporary diet in my mind. Some people stay on it forever, but I am planning on transitioning to something a little bit more sustainable with a lot more nutrients in it, maybe paleo, we'll see. Haven't made a decision about that. But that was my diet side of it, is the ketogenic stuff. Like I said, I'd be happy to answer more questions if you want to know more about the keto diet, what it's like, the negatives, the positives. Exercise. Okay, so I decided to burn fat and build muscle, not just doing cardio. Why? Because I didn't want to just be skinny fat. I also wanted to have a little bit more of a kick to my metabolism, and I know building muscle helps do that. So I decided to weightlift. Now, originally I was doing this going to be the regular way that people weightlift. But when I tried to do my first workout, within 10 minutes I was wiped out, couldn't do any more. So I decided to try again later that day, and then again later that day, which was 3 times in one day, but only 30 minutes total. At a certain point I realized, hey, this is pretty time efficient, and I feel like I'm getting a decent workout, and it's easier to motivate myself to do it because it's just 10 minutes. I wasn't going to the gym, I was doing it here, which I would say it's better to have an accountability partner. That was the one downfall of what I was doing, but I was able to keep going, and I was able to stay motivated. I'll explain why I think I was able to do that in my last category. But I did that weightlifting program. So I would do 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes when I got home, and when I had the time and energy, right before bed, I would do 10 to 15 minutes again. This kept my metabolism up, and it was way easier to actually fit into my schedule. And that was basically it. I can give more details. The last thing is I decided to read the Bible in 90 days. And also spend more time, not just in prayer, but deliberate prayer. There's a thing called deliberate practice. They found that if you do the same things over and over, you don't necessarily get better. You might get insane by some definitions. What you actually have to do to get better is deliberate practice with a goal in mind. And a lot of times with prayer, it can be just something we fall into, not something we're doing deliberately, differently to try to come to a healthier place. So that's what I did. The 90 days in the Bible I'd done once before. It went pretty well. I actually finished a little early, and I'm starting a new Bible reading, a little less intensive, but it's a fun thing to do. Some people might want to read slower and not do it in 90 days. That's fine. But I do recommend having something that is making sure this isn't just about getting a six-pack. This isn't just about being physically in good shape even. Now, some people have said, well, reading the Bible wasn't really necessary to get in shape, was it? Maybe, maybe not. There's been studies that have shown that if you link what you're doing to a greater purpose, you're more likely to stick to it. So I think that a huge part of why I stayed motivated is this wasn't about me. I wanted to be healthy for God and for others. Like, that was my focus, which is also why I did the last thing, which is to take pictures. And some people didn't even like, they were kind of controversial of like, oh, a pastor taking his shirt off, what's that about? This is your pastor? Well, yes, because one, I believe in transparency. People should let people know, especially a pastor, what's going on in their life so they can be honest with people and really help them in their journey. So it was embarrassing showing my before picture, and it was even embarrassing to show my after picture a little bit. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to inspire others to make a change in their own lives, and thankfully that's happened. I also wanted the accountability to have people know this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and this is why. And also, guys, this is how we are built. We are built, one, it's just a body. Two, we are built for this connection between the spirit and the flesh, the body, the soul, and the spirit. All of mind and heart, all of these are interconnected. And so we need to be healthy in all of the categories. We can't just have one strong thing of like, I'm spiritually strong, emotionally I'm a wreck, physically I'm a wreck, but I'm spiritually strong. It's not enough. You got to get those things together. And same way, if you try to focus just on your physical, I think that you won't do as well as if you struggle, you focus on your emotional and your spiritual. But hey, maybe I'm just a pastor, maybe I'm biased, but that was my perspective. So I did the 60-day and the 90-day photo, and oh my gosh, did that keep extra motivation when I wanted to give up. So what happened? 198 pounds, somewhere between 25 to 30% body fat in the beginning. Not a good starting point. That's in technically the obese category, fat-wise. I hit it well, but at the end I was 162 pounds on my final day of the diet, and my fat percentage based on a caliper, who knows if that's that accurate, is about 7%, 7 to 8%. I actually think it's a little bit higher. 7 to 8% is really cut. I think I'm more probably about 10%, but either way, significant difference. 36 pounds lost, 40 pounds of fat I estimate about, and about 5 pounds of muscle. So that's how it went for me. The more important thing is I now feel emotionally a lot more stable. Spiritually, I feel like I'm in a better place. And physically, it's night and day. I have more energy. I'm able to focus on things and people better. And when other people got strep around me and other sicknesses, I didn't get sick. I haven't been sick at all for the last 90 days. And I've also had way less headaches, which I've struggled with a lot in my life. So it's amazing how much it's changed things. And I really encourage you guys. I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. But you can achieve it. Like, if you can dream it, R. Kelly style. Okay, maybe not R. Kelly, but whatever. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. If you have a heart and a desire, you have a drive to do something, especially with God, all things are possible. And I really want to encourage you, whatever change you want to make in your life, you can do it. Just do it, right? Like Shia LaBeouf says. Make a change. And I'd be happy to help and be accountable for you and give you advice if you need it. That's my weight loss journey. Hope you got something out of the video. God bless.